Hello and a very good morning to you. It's Jason, and we are going to commence our program of sleep with ease and grace. Last night we did a live recording, and I thought it was more appropriate actually just to come back on this morning or very early this morning. As you can probably see, it's still dark behind me, just to go through the material again. Obviously, the nation is in mourning, and we were quite sad last night, and there were only just a few people with us as well. So I thought I would redo the video and get more to the point. It was very lovely to chat with everyone yesterday, and I really appreciate the fact that you came along to the live meeting. Really looking forward to presenting Sleeping with Ease and Grace, a very different program from normal, and I'm sure that you're going to love it. It's going to be an audio recording that you receive. So, like this one, only difference is you won't see my face, simply because we want to discourage blue light, as blue light or computer screens affects your pineal gland by inhibiting the production of melatonin. Melatonin makes you feel sleepy. It's a hormone that's created in the dark that allows us to feel sleepy. So, blue lights, TV screens, or anything like that will inhibit sleep somehow. So, what we're going to do today is just very quickly outline exactly what we're going to do over the next week. Our program begins on Monday, of course, Monday, the 16th of September. And I've got a number of healing opportunities and healing situations, healing possibilities for you, which I feel I have to run by you, as I really honour and respect free will, and not everyone will appreciate the healing. So I thought I'd run those by you, tell you exactly what we're going to do. So here we go. We always begin with some deep belly breaths, become centered, become familiar and comfortable with our surroundings, our environment. And today's meeting's all about creating exactly the right environment for a very good night's sleep. So we take some breaths, and there's always going to be a little section on gratitude where we maybe speak of gratitude or reflect on a gratitude. I've got a number of gratitudes there and a number of gratitude affirmations. Of course, gratitude is love. And as soon as we step into gratitude, we step into love. So we immediately change the frequency of our mind, our emotions, our thoughts, and we step into love. So I felt that gratitude's an important part, certainly of my nighttime routine. I do gratitudes every night. So I'm going to do some gratitude affirmations with you, just a little corner on gratitude with each of the audio recordings coming your way next week. We're also going to do some affirmations, and the affirmations are to do with sleeping well and resting well. And generally between 5 and 10 affirmations, just another little small corner. And I hope that that will help you. What we do with the affirmations is we can gently repeat those statements, or we can just think about them, really focus on the statements. And that allows our mind to meditate, to really, really focus, really, really focus, as opposed to the thinking about stress, what you have or you haven't done that day, what you've got to do tomorrow, and all the little niggly things that happen, especially if you're busy or you're finding it difficult to sleep and your mind's rather active. So we're going to focus on some positivity, and the affirmations also will eventually, as we consciously practice them, they will eventually become subconscious programs or beliefs as well. More on that a little bit more specifically later on. Okay, the very best part of Sleep with Ease and Grace is the meditations. I've created some really lovely meditations. Each evening, we're going to do a completely different meditation. Some brand new material here. Very excited to share it. And they're all meditations designed to help you feel very relaxed. And you may find that it's difficult to stay awake throughout the meditation, but that's perfect. It might take you a few attempts to listen to the recordings until you hear or get right to the end of the meditation. That's perfect. That's ideal, of course. And as well as that, we've got some healing and healing on every occasion, sending some Reiki to you. There's a little moment of Reiki and what we call an instant theta healing, which takes a couple of moments to do. We just put you in a nice state and I bring you into the theta state. Now, the theta state is very important. Right now, while I'm recording this video, I'm in a beta brainwave, which means I'm in my thinking brain, if you like. I'm in my left brain to 60%, maybe 40% in my right brain. But when we go into an alpha state, we're meditating, we're just about to fall asleep. Just that little transition between being awake and being asleep, that's the alpha state. Or sometimes if you're just zoned out and you're not particularly thinking and you're very relaxed, that's the alpha state. Meditation's the alpha state as well. When we fall asleep or when we dream, we go into the theta state, the theta brainwave. And the theta brainwave is associated with REM sleep, rapid eye movement. That's when we have dreams. Now, what we want to do is boost our REM sleep. And people who have more REM sleep feel much more refreshed the following day. Their minds, their bodies work much better for them. And that's the whole point of us doing Sleeping with Ease and Grace, of course. So I'm going to take you into theta brainwave and do a little instant theta healing with you on each of the occasions, which will just take a few moments of our particular evening. The sessions are 40 minutes, possibly 45 minutes, but they will not exceed 45 minutes. I think that's more than enough to cover everything quite nicely. And I have prepared some of our videos for us, or our audio recordings. It's a habit saying video, of course. Yeah, we're sticking to 45 minutes maximum there. As well as that, I have some theta healing downloads. Now, these are programs or instructions from the subconscious mind. They may be beliefs, they may be feelings. And what we're doing is as obviously allowing us to feel that program, like, for example, what it is to rest and feel rested, that we know how and when to rest. But the subconscious mind is given this information as well, which will allow us then to rest that little bit more. I mean, some people try to manifest in their life, just for example's sake, they try to manifest and they do reasonably well at it. They might think of a friend and they may call us, that we do attract what we think of. But some people really try to manifest, say, money, and they wonder, why is it that I can't actually win the lottery or manifest a great sum of money? Possibly because 90% of your mind is subconscious, and there may be some programs there that are undermining your ability to manifest. So for that reason, I felt some theta downloads would be appropriate in each of our evenings to help you sleep with ease and grace. And I've chosen some themes, and I'm just going to go around them just now to make sure that that you are okay with that, because it's very important to respect free will, and not everyone wants healing. So what I would suggest is, if you'd like the healing, that you in your own mind say yes to the healing. Otherwise it may not flow for you. But it's programmed for you. It's programmed for everyone who is invested in this program. I do work behind the scene as well. I obviously send you the audio recording, but then I do some healing behind it. But I'm going to do the theta healing downloads out loud for you to hear exactly the programming of the subconscious mind. Very exciting, isn't it? Very exciting indeed. I'm also going to work with some other things. I'm going to clear free floating memories. Now, I tend to do that with people who have bad dreams, who have night terrors, who perhaps have stored some trauma in the subconscious mind. So I do a little healing where we command or intend that anything that you're ready to let go of just dissolves to create a little bit more mind space. I'm also going to do a healing on your nervous system on most days as well, and bring the nervous system into perfect balance for you and synchronize the brain. Because if you're a lefty and you're in your left brain, which we should be 40% of the time, you're going to be thinking, you're going to be analyzing, it's logical, it's scientific, it's masculine. We want to be in the right brain 60% of the time, which is feminine. And that's the brain that allows us just to be present, that we don't have to dissect or break things down, which of course takes us completely out the moment. So bringing some harmony, synchronization of the brain and harmony into the nervous system will help you sleep as well. I'm going to do some hormonal work with everyone as well. I'm going to work on your pineal gland. That's the gland just at the back of the head there, the little restrict strap that creates a number of hormones, but the one that we're interested in is melatonin. So it's that your body, I'm trying to help your circadian rhythm here, help your body create melatonin when it's dark. I'm actually going to use, I'm actually going to do healing on serotonin as well. Serotonin, noradrenaline, and all your hormone levels will be balanced with each session, because serotonin will help us sleep better as well, and it also regulates our mood. So if we're stressed or we're worried or we're angry, it could be your serotonin or noradrenaline levels that are out of balance. So we're going to balance those as well. So pineal gland, I'm going to do some balancing in serotonin, noradrenaline, and all your other hormones. And quite crucially, going to do some work on your adrenals. So some of us are just on emergency response and it doesn't switch off. And we produce a lot of adrenaline, the fight or flight hormone. If you're exposed to a lot of stress or over a long period of time, then we produce a hormone called cortisol, and about 90% of insomniacs have very high levels of cortisol. And although you may be able to fall asleep right away, it's difficult to stay asleep if your cortisol levels are high. And a little indicator for you, if it's your adrenals that are tired or the cortisol or the hormones are out of balance, you may wake up about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning quite regularly and find it quite difficult to get back to sleep. So interesting, we're going to do some hormonal balances there as well. So just to check with you that is okay. I mean, you can switch on apps to help you sleep or whatever, but obviously we're doing some healing here at Synergy Reiki Studio and want to create a system or a program here that not only that you can play every night if you wish to, but it also repairs and heals and allows us to get into a new program. Because if our sleeping's out of sync, then it becomes a habit. And if it takes you some time to fall asleep and you wake up regularly through the night, or you get up early, or you've developed a non-conventional sleeping habit, we'll say, or maybe an antisocial sleeping habit because you're on night shift and you're trying to sleep during the day, then this has created a program, it's created a pattern. So what we're trying to do with the healing is allow your body to go back to its natural circadian rhythm. So today's video is really just explaining these things to you so that when we get together in the audio recording, there's no explanations. It's just those beautiful activities that I outlined a little bit earlier. Okay, I'm going to tell you a few little things now, final part of today's video, just outlining things that you can do to help have your environment in a way that's conducive to sleep. So why don't you have a little break for a moment? Why don't you have a little stretch? And we'll come back in a moment or two and we'll talk about that and consider that. Thanks for now. Enjoy your little break. See you in a moment. Hello and welcome back. Just to mention a couple of points that will help you sleep that little bit more easily. My first one's actually about caffeine. I don't know about you, but I enjoy some coffee in the morning in particular, especially this morning, it's 4:30. And I need a little coffee just to kickstart my adrenals. But what I would like to tell you about coffee or anything that contains caffeine is that coffee's got caffeine. The drug caffeine has a half-life of 6 hours. So 6 hours after drinking this cup of coffee, as beautiful as it is, 6 hours later, half of the caffeine is still active in my system. And then another 6 hours later, so 12 hours later, half of that is active in my system. So a quarter of that cup of coffee is still active in my system 12 hours later at 4:30 this afternoon. That will be. So my recommendation is to avoid anything that has caffeine in it for at least 6 hours before you go to sleep. And what I usually do is make my own herbal teas. I use lemons, I use ginger, I use various herbs in the garden. And if you've not got those things available to you, of course, you can buy some herbal tea, although fresh herbal teas are much, much better. And you can buy fresh herbal tea, just like tea leaves, if you like, that are made from the flowers and made from the dried part of the plants, which have the active ingredient, like chamomile tea, for example, which is most useful. Exercise is absolutely at the top of the list for having a good night's sleep. If you're not spiritual, you don't practice meditation, you want to do something to help you sleep, exercise. And I think walking is perfect exercise. We only have to walk for 35 minutes a day. And I would say it's better to do 35 minutes a day's walk than doing one walk per week or one big walk per week. If we exercise, we always sleep better. And not only sleep better, we feel better and we function better in every level. Walking has so many healing properties. Google it and see for yourself. Walking even increases your memory. It reduces the chances of dementia or Alzheimer's. It realigns your back because it allows the muscles either side of the spine to relax and then therefore your spine to align itself much easier and much, much more. Walking is fantastic. And we should walk at a level where we're not completely out of breath or really tired. If you want to walk, I mean, I do power walking, I do a little bit of jogging or very fast walking from time to time, just to be more cardiovascular. But what my advice is try and get into nature, try and have a walk and exercise earlier on in the day if possible. A morning walk is wonderful, afternoon walk's great, really good to walk when the sun shines, of course, because it boosts vitamin D and everything else. Perhaps abstain from exercise later at night time. So, you know, you don't want to go to the gym or work out at 8 o'clock in the evening because you're pumping yourself right up, literally, and it's going to be a wee bit more difficult to get to sleep at night. Okay, turn your screens off. I would say 9 o'clock is the cut-off time. Again, emitting blue light, whether it's this, whether it's your TV, whether it's your mobile phone, or your Kindle, all these devices give off blue light, and the blue light is essentially preventing the production of melatonin in the pineal gland. So it's stimulating you, it's keeping you awake. And I would say, you know, if you're exposed to blue light, then you can still, it takes maybe about 3 hours for your melatonin levels to settle back down to normal. So it's an evolutionary thing we're describing here. When it gets dark outside, we produce melatonin to fall asleep to be safe. And prehistoric man would do that and sleep and be safe. At night time, from predators or other animals, it's the way we're designed, it's the way we're built, where we are built to rest and sleep. And just in case you're wondering, the average adult should have between 7 and 9 hours of sleep per night. So that's about a third of your day. And that's the adults. Children should have more than that because they're learning more and they need more time to assimilate that knowledge. And even in your dreams, the purpose of REM sleep is for you to reverse learn. It's for you to process what you have been learning and what you have been experiencing during the day. So the more REM sleep you have, the better. And you tend to get, you know, deeper REM sleep cycles a little bit earlier on in the night. So another very good piece of advice for you would be to try and get to bed about 10 o'clock or before midnight as much as possible. If I'm working till 9 o'clock, that's fair enough. If I'm doing a meditation event, maybe once a week, I'll work till 9 o'clock. The odd time as well, I might have a dance and I might be up a little bit later than that. But most evenings, if I'm not working, I'm going to my bed about 8 o'clock to relax, to meditate, to do my affirmations, to do some Reiki healing on myself for an hour or two, so that then I'm falling asleep about 10 o'clock. And I think you get a much better quality sleep before midnight than you do after midnight. And we talked about it last night, and a lot of people really appreciate the time of the day where it's less busy, the phone's not ringing, you can get stuff done, other people are sleeping. But here it's maybe about 5 o'clock in the morning just now. It's the same, really. The world is quiet, the phone, no one's going to call me just now. And you've got that peace just to relax and do stuff. Yeah, I think that we get a better sleep essentially if we get to sleep a little bit earlier. Let's take a deep breath together. Lots of information there, of course, and feel free to pause the video at any time. I would like to just mention one more thing about screens and about devices. If you feel that you want to watch the TV or that you want to use your computer or your phone or Kindle, although I advise reading books. I'm very old school. You should see the books behind me here. I love my books as much as I research things on the internet. I love my books, some great references. What you can do is buy yourself blue spectacles. You get blue light spectacles, and they're reasonably inexpensive as well. You can have them for about £10. And you wear those glasses and it filters out all blue light so that you can then do what you want to do. And it's not affecting your melatonin levels. So there's a really good solution for that. Last night I was asked about some remedies, and there are a lot of remedies that you can use to help you sleep. Sleeping tablets would be a no-no to me. I do appreciate that some of you may use sleeping tablets, but like any drug, drugs are addictive, and we then develop a tolerance towards a drug, and therefore we need to use more of the drug to achieve the same effect. They may be addictive in nature, and when we then decide to abstain using that particular drug, it takes our body some time to come back into balance there. So it's maybe more useful to use natural remedies. GABA. GABA is a neurotransmitter that will help you sleep, and it boosts your mood, and it's rather wonderful. You can buy melatonin in pill form as well, which you would maybe take 2 hours before you sleep. Now, I'm not asking you, telling you to do this. I'm not prescribing. This is not my job. I am not a doctor, but these are supplements that may be useful to you. If you're on any other medication, please check with your doctor first that it's appropriate to use these supplements. Passiflora sometimes. That's a very gentle, mild sedative. It's not very sedative, but it calms you down. I think valerian, that's something that I use personally. Valerian is wonderful. I'll say one thing about valerian is do not take more than it says. Don't think, okay, I'll take 2. I'm really not tired tonight. I'll just take 2. Because higher doses of valerian can actually act as a stimulant as opposed to something that will relax you. But it's a very healing herb, and I would advise you to take that a number of hours before bedtime. If you see it in Calms or some of those products, let's say an hour before bedtime, in my experience, it's much better to have valerian after dinner. Therefore you feel quite fresh the following morning, of course. Magnesium. And magnesium's brilliant. Calcium, magnesium I always use, I've got to say. I use a number of supplements, including vitamin C, calcium, magnesium, and I use flaxseed oil as well to get my omegas because they're brilliant for the brain. They're my essentials, if you like. There are occasionally some extra little ones in there. There's some vitamin D in my calcium, magnesium, for example, and zinc as well for my immune system, with vitamin C. But I eat lots of fruit and lots of vegetables, so I think I get most of that naturally anyway. However, I do have a magnesium supplement, just to use magnesium on its own. Again, 2 hours before you go to bed. It's very good for your heart. Magnesium is great for all the muscles in your body, and magnesium will help you sleep that little bit more easily. Okay, let's take another few deep breaths together and chill and relax for a little moment. And taking one more slow, deep breath in through your nose, deep into your tummy. And as you exhale, just allow your whole body to relax. Deep breaths are both energizing and relaxing, of course. Okay, final point in the video, just to go through some very, very quick points. This is about creating the best space in your environment, setting things up, if you like, for a program that begins on Monday. You could keep a sleep diary, for example, which is useful because then you might notice some patterns with your sleep. It might be that the full moon or the new moon or various things affect our sleeping patterns. At the moment, we have 6 planets in retrograde, including Mercury. So actually, Mercury is going to be in retrograde through this program, which is really good and very useful because all the words relate to Mercury in retrograde, such as rest or relax or Reiki, or many of the things that we're going to do here. Retrospect. When Mercury is in retrograde, we slow things down a little bit. So a sleep diary can help us notice those patterns, if you like. Maybe notice if we've had a stressful day, it affects us this way, or our sleep is affected in that way. And not only that, if you're busy and you've got a lot on, you might want to jot down a little to-do list in the evening so that you're organized for the next day and your mind's not thinking or planning or organizing when you go to bed at night. For me, the bedroom has to be a very simple room. Bed, 2 bedside units, not a lot else. No reminders of work or anything like that at all. It's a space to rest. Soft colours are often very useful in the bedroom as well. I'm not saying go in and decorate your bedroom this weekend, but it might be worth considering having sort of softer, cooler colours, pastel colours, maybe some blues rather than strong, passionate reds, which are more energising. And what I would say is decluttering certainly helps. When there's space and there's no clutter around, it helps us sleep with ease and grace as well, as it does help you concentrate and everything else as well. It's quite nice to read before you go to bed. Read something spiritual or read something that's maybe quite boring and makes you want to fall asleep. You can read about tax or something like that. Off to sleep already. Um, Cooler conditions in the bedroom. The temperature's everything. Men like it cold, as you probably know. Most men like their feet out the bed, and it's actually biological. That's the reasons behind that, because the testes would prefer to be at 35 degrees as opposed to your body temperature, which is 37 degrees. So males have this mechanism where they have to cool down because of those biological reasons, whereas females like to be that little bit warmer, of course. But your room temperature should be really ideally between 15 and 18 degrees. That's 59 to 68 in Fahrenheit. Once it gets much more above that, it's more difficult to sleep. Of course, I would change your sheets and I would change all the bedwear as regularly as you can. Research has found that that helps you get a better night's sleep. And during the summer, you may want to consider just using a fleece or a blanket as opposed to a quilt. And obviously, during the winter, you may then use a higher togged quilt. Or, we have an electric blanket that we maybe put on just before we go to bed in the winter, and then we switch it off. and just enjoy a comfortable night's sleep. But if it's too warm, and it has been this week, hasn't it? There's been nights where it's been 19 degrees. It's been much more difficult to sleep. I can just see the light coming behind me now. Dawn is on its way. So those melatonin levels will begin to drop, and the photoreceptors in your eyes will see that if your blinds are open at night time. So close your blinds, close your curtains, especially if there are street lights or artificial light outside. Again, those kind of lights affect your serotonin and melatonin levels. We're almost there. Reduce noise as much as possible. You may introduce some sounds. I love the sound of rain. I love the sound of the wind and rain hitting the window. But of course, you can have some apps where you have rain or you have thunder or whatever you like to hear just quietly in the background so you can focus on those sounds. And just like as we do the affirmations, the gratitudes and everything we're going to do in our week, as you focus on those things, then the mind is less distracted with all the other kind of thoughts. Remember, the average person has between 60 and 80,000 thoughts per day. And I love to tell you that. It's a lot of thinking. We are thinking machines, you know. But remember that thoughts are not facts. So much of what you're thinking is a load of nonsense, quite frankly. Statistically, 10% of your thoughts are useful, 90% are either a waste of time at best, or you could describe them as being pathological, they can make us ill, such as worry or anxiety or thoughts that are quite depressing. So it's quite nice to have something else to focus on. And that's what meditation is, it's focus. So it's that we are not just thinking and rethinking. And if you're wondering as well, only 1% of your thoughts are fresh from day to day out of those 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. It's quite remarkable. Alcohol, I would avoid it. I know we say a nightcap, and a little alcohol can help us sleep initially, but studies have demonstrated that we have less good sleep when we drink alcohol. We have a more disturbed sleep, we have less REM sleep, and we wake up early, much to our despair if we've had a night on the town and we just want that wee bit extra sleep, but we're quite stimulated quite early and maybe feeling a little bit delicate. So I would avoid alcohol. I would also avoid too many drinks in general later on in the day. Otherwise, your bladder's going to be full and you'll have more trips to the toilet, making it a little bit more difficult to fall back asleep, of course. Reduce your cat naps. You might use the videos to cat nap. There'll be times where you might have to have cat naps. If you're going to have a cat nap, I suggest that you do it earlier in the day, not in the evening at all, because it will spoil your sleep. Now, Winston Churchill, for example, and even Margaret Thatcher, they both only had 4 hours sleep a night, being the PMs. And they all had cat naps because they only had 4 hours sleep a night. So that was their routine. But what we really want to do is we want to sleep 8 hours a night, if possible, maybe a little bit more. Sometimes I have 10, and that's just wonderful. But if I have a cat nap, that's not going to happen. It's going to take me much longer to fall asleep, and I won't sleep so long. So therefore, my sleeping cycle will be disrupted. Of course, you get some really, really good apps now that will actually record your sleeping patterns and your brainwaves, as I described earlier on, and it will show you when you have a REM cycle and how long your REM cycle is. So if you have like a cat nap every night, then your REM cycles are reduced. The longevity is reduced, but also the frequency are reduced as well. In the morning, try and get out your bed as soon as you can. It helps you get to sleep better in the evening. Very simple, that one. Nature, get into nature if you possibly can. Food-wise, it is better not to eat too much later on in the evening, especially if it's sugary food, because essentially then your body's still working. It's working hard, it's processing, it's metabolizing, and it's burning off some energy, and it's creating a bit of heat as well. So it's better to eat lighter at night and possibly avoid food before you go to your bed. Know your own sleeping position. So 3 sleeping positions. You can sleep on your back, you can sleep on your side, or you can sleep in your tummy. I sleep on the side, and sometimes in the morning I need an iron just to sort the side of my face out, especially if I've had a long sleep or a long lie. I sleep best on my side. Why don't you experiment with that? See if you sleep better on your back or your tummy or one particular side. Make sure you change your mattress at least every 8 years and choose the right pillows. Buy yourself new pillows every year. Um, Memory foam pillows may work for you, they may not. I tried memory foam pillows this week and it didn't work for me so much. I had a slightly sore neck in the morning, but it's worth experimenting. At least I know now that I'm better with a regular pillow. So know your sleeping position, change your sheets, change your pillows, get the right PJs. We were talking about it last night. Silk, for example, nice, beautiful, isn't it? Silk's such a sexy, lovely material, but silk keeps you cool as well. And it's lovely against your skin. Whereas in the winter, the depths of winter when it's cold, we may want something just that little bit more cotton based or warm or cozy. But wearing the right pajamas is often useful for a good sleep as well. Can't wait to take you through the program. As I said already, prepared some of the videos for you. I will email you this. You'll find this on your emails, and I will email the video or the audio recording, I should say, each morning, lunchtime, something like that, just depending on what's happening that day. But you'll certainly have it before the evening or for that week, beginning Monday. Any questions, anything come up, please let me know. I'm going to do quite a few musings and posts on Synergy Reiki Studio, so please check that out and please write your comments. And if you're enjoying this, let us know. That'd be really wonderful. Thank you for everyone's encouragement and support in this new project. I love a project and I'm very excited about this project. And say there's some real fresh material here. It can be used time and time again. It can be like an old friend. You know, if you are traveling, if you're on a plane or you're in a train journey, you might want to listen to it to help you sleep, for example, or just chill out. It's definitely child friendly, although I don't put that on the video. It is child friendly, so it's good for your pets as well. And sometimes my friends, if I've prepared them some meditations, they say their pets sleep much easier as well when we listen to it, because your frequency changes, the frequency coming from me is different, and our pets are very sensitive to that. So I hope you have an amazing experience with us. Let me know how you're getting on. I'd be delighted to hear from you. Thanks again for purchasing this program and being with us for the coming 10 days, really. I wish you graceful and easy sleeping. And let's face it, if you have a good night's sleep, you can do anything the following day. Thanks for checking this video out. Have an amazing day, whatever you're up to. And I will see you, or you will hear me again soon. Bye for now.